Hi, everybody. This is my dog, Kalis. He's saying hi. All right. Well, we just finished week one, and you guys did really, really well. Um, I wanted to just point out that you guys did really well as a group. It looks like a lot of the group stuff is working. Some of the groups haven't really gotten started yet, but most of you guys are moving along quite well. Um, we have a bunch of teams that have earned a bunch of points already, and we have a whole bunch of teams who are almost done with the history of rock stuff, and so they'll have a lot more points coming up here soon. I'm going to be posting more assignments and stuff. Um, for the week one, I chose 6 different topics. I wanted to kind of review them with you just really briefly. The red topic, the politics and military topic, was about the Watergate scandal. Watergate was probably the biggest scandal in American history. It brought down President Nixon. He wasn't impeached, but he was going to be impeached. And Congress basically had told him that he was going to be impeached, and so he resigned right before that happened. Um, Nixon had a lot of other scandals going on. He was, generally speaking, a pretty dishonest man. He lied a lot. He cheated a lot. He was not a great dude. Bottom 5 presidents. Yeah. The green category, the industry and labor category, was about the oil crises in the 1970s. We focused on the 1973 oil crisis particularly. This is one that I thought was important because a lot of times when we're not dealing with a global pandemic, oftentimes we're dealing with problems in the Middle East, and students oftentimes don't understand what the Middle East, why it matters so much and why it's such a big deal. And it's about the oil. Oil runs everything. Everything in the economy is based on oil. Everything needs to be transported somewhere. Everything that's made out of plastic is made out of oil, fuel is made out of oil. When oil becomes more expensive, every single thing you buy ever becomes more expensive. And that's a problem. That's a problem. And so that's why the Middle East matters so much. Um, Number 3 was the race and justice category, the blue category. We did a Supreme Court case that's near and dear to my heart, Loving versus Virginia, where the state of Virginia had laws in place about interracial marriage, and the Loving couple, the Loving family, challenged that law and got the law repealed. It was about um, uh, 50 years ago, 50 something years ago. My wife and I, as most of you guys have met my wife is Asian, and I'm white, and so we would not be able to be married under if these laws still existed today. My wife and I celebrate the Loving versus Virginia case every June, on the anniversary of it every June. Um, the gender and family category, we looked at a sports figure. We looked at Catherine Schweitzer. Catherine Schweitzer, a really important sports figure. She's the first woman to run a marathon or run the Boston Marathon, and she's a pretty awesome person. She's a pretty awesome person. They told her that she couldn't do it, and they told her women are weak. They told her that women just weren't allowed to do it. They said, that their hearts weren't strong enough. That if she runs so far, she's not going to be able to have a baby. They even had doctors saying that her uterus would fall out if she ran, but um, she recognized that as stupid and absurd, and she ran it anyway, and it was pretty cool. She's kind of one of my heroes. Um, the science and technology is about the moon landing. Um, a lot of times, people who don't understand history very well will criticize the moon landing, and they'll say, "Why did we go to the moon if we just walked around and looked at the dirt and picked up some rocks and came home?" It looks like the moon is a waste of money, right? And uh, it's not. It's not a waste of money. The space program is not a waste of money because the space program produces tons, massive amounts of innovations of everything in your world comes from the space program. Cell phones and computers and everything. It's all coming out of the space program. And one of the things about the space program and the moon landing in particular is that any invention that NASA has, anything that NASA invents, has to be owned by the public. And so they give it to companies, they give it to the American people for free because we, the American people, already paid for it with our taxes. So, last in the culture category, I was looking at the birth of hip hop in New York. DJ Kool Herc, Africa Bambaataa, a bunch of these guys. I think hip hop culture is. I as you can tell from this whole quarter, I'm a big fan of rock and stuff, and hip hop is a really cool branch of rock, I think, and um, it's I dig it. It's unique. It's American. It's kind of plugs into a lot of our American narrative and stuff. So it was really cool. Anyway, you guys did really good on all of those. The groups who haven't done it yet, go ahead and answer those questions. This week, we're giving the Chuck Berry First Week Award. That's for the team that got the most points, did the most stuff this week. That goes to the Straws. So nicely done, nicely done. Chuck Berry, of course, is the father of rock and roll, and so he's the first rock and roller. So he is the award for the first week. Every week we'll do a Bob Dylan Post of the Week. Bob Dylan was the rock singer. He won the Nobel Prize for his poetry and is widely considered to be the greatest writer in American rock. And so the Bob Dylan Post of the Week. This week's Bob Dylan Post of the Week is Rebecca Juvenile from The Worst. It seems weird to put her name and then put The Worst underneath that. Rebecca, you are lovely. You are, of course, not the worst. But that's your team name, so here we are. Anyway, Rebecca's post was pretty awesome. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'll put out some awards every week and keep it up. I'm going to post more assignments and stuff. It looks like some of the groups are really doing well. The Straws are at 107 points already. The Straws might be able to wrap up the fourth quarter, as early as next week or maybe the week after. The Baguettes are not far behind, 87 points. The Worst is at 57. The Hummingbirds are at 50. And then we have the Rodeo Clowns and the Biscuits, both in the 40s. So you guys are doing really well. Talk to your team members if they haven't gotten their stuff done. Have them get their stuff done. Divide the assignments up. I don't want just one person doing everything for the group. We can't just let the one really good student in your group let them do all the work for you. That's not fair. So I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy. Kalis, you have anything you want to say to him? Kalis. Yeah, well, there you go. Kalis is living that quarantine life right now. All right, I'll see you guys.